Hello everyone, this is Prem Kumar. Welcome to this video on branch-based development in Pega part 2. In this video, I am going to separate it as two parts. One, I will start setting up branch application layer. Once the branch application layer is set, then I will show you how to do development using Pega branches. Let's get started. As you see in the screen, I logged in into the Pega server and my current application is Clients app. Now I want to build a new branch application layer. To create a new application, we already saw we can use the application wizard to create a new application. But use the application wizard when you want to create some kind of implementation application for your organization. Here, I just want to create a simple layer. So what I'm going to do, instead of using the create wizard, I'm going to create manually using the create menu. There is one more reason that if you use the create wizard, it is going to create all your supporting rules like organization rules. It's going to create a work layer for it. I don't need that. I just want to create a simple layer. So what you can do, go to the create menu and from here you can go to the application definition and then application. This is going to show you the create menu for application rule. I'm going to name it as Clients app branch and the version is going to be 010101. Every application rule should include a rule set. Currently, I am going to tag it to the implementation rule set. Later, I can change the rule set also. For now, I am going to do create and open. So that is going to create me a new application. What are the mandatory configuration of an application rule? If you just do a save, you will not get saved. It will throw you error saying some of the mandatory configuration needs to be filled. First is the dependent application or the built-on application. So what application here you can use? Can we use the Pega base product? As I told you, your branch application layer should go at the top of the implementation application layer. And currently my implementation application layer is Clients app. So I'll be using Clients app here. And the latest version is 010101. I'm going to use this. Okay, now I filled one of the mandatory configuration. And the second mandatory configuration is PY rule set list. You have to have at least one rule set per application because without rule set there is no meaning for application. At the end your source code is going to be with the rule set and rule set is going to be tagged to the application. So definitely you should have at least one rule set. Now in this branch application, what type of rule set can we create? If you are doing some kind of POC, if you are doing some research or some development activities, you can just create a development rule set here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a development rule set. You can follow this shortcut also to create a rule. You can also use this create menu or go to records and then go with create menu. What I'm going to do is I will just say development here and then click on this pointer. If the rule does not exist, it always open up into the new form. By this way, it automatically pre-fills all the details here. It says version is 010101 and development. It also fills the description. So this is kind of a trick to do quick development. So I'll just do create and open. So here I'm creating a new rule set version. Once everything is done, you can do a save and this will be persisted into the database into the rule table. Now we have created a new rule set. It is called development rule set. And with the version 010101. So you have to point the rule set, also the version here in the application. It can be major minor alone or you can also specify major minor patch. We will talk more about rule set in one of the coming video. For now, I have completed creating my branch application layer. The next step is you have to provide access for the developers to this branch application layer. Because currently my developer account, it is pointing to only Clients app application. It is not pointing to Clients app branch application. So how do we point an application? We already saw many times it is going to be in the operator configuration. In the operator configuration, you need to have an access group that points to the application. First, let's open my current operator here. Currently, my current operator is having access to two applications. One is Clients app, which is the implementation, and the other is the Pega rules based application. Now I need to have an access to the Clients app branch application. To have an access, definitely I need to have an access group. Since I didn't create it using any type of wizard, all these access groups will not be created. So definitely you have to create a new access group. I will start with creating a new access group Again, I will do the trick to quickly create a new access group. I will call it as clients app branch, and then I'll say administrators. You can also do the same thing by using the create menu. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to use this access group. Since this access group is not found, when you click this pointer, it is going to open up the create new form. So here I see it has clients app branch administrators. Create and open. In any access group, you have to provide two main configurations. One is the application configuration, to which application this access group points to, and the other is the available portals. Now I find little lazy to fill all these available portals, so I'm going to show you one more shortcut how you can easily create an access group. Go to the operator, and from there you see current access group is clients app administrator. Just open the access group. Here it lists all the available portals. These are the portals I get access to, and this application is pointing to clients app. What I can do is I can just do a save as of this access group into a different name. I'll say branch. This is like make a copy of an existing instance into a new instance. So I'm just creating a copy into a new name. So it copies all the details. Now what I have to do, I have to update this. First, I will update the application pointing to the clients app branch. This is the only change I'm going to do. Once I save it, this access group can now point to the clients app branch administrator. One more thing what you can do is you can update this access group rule set to the branch rule set. You can just change it to development rule set and do a save. Because this access group is part of the top layer, so it is always nice to make the rule set into the right layer. So definitely I have to do one more change. I have to update this clients app application also into the development rule set. I'll change it to the development rule set here and then do a save. Okay, now that we created a new access group, clients app branch administrator. Now we have to include that access group into the operator rule form. Let's go back to the operator rule form and then add the new access group. Just use the down arrow and then select the clients app branch access group. You can also mark the clients app branch access group as the default access group. Just select this option and then do a save. Now my operator is pointing to clients app branch access group, which in turn points to the clients app branch application. Now if I log out and log in, I should get the dev studio of clients app branch. Instead of logging out and log in, you can also switch application. Just I will switch application to the clients app branch application. Okay, now we are done with the first step of setting up the branch application layer. Now in the next step, we will start doing the development using branches. To start with this step, you have to first create branches. I have a small requirement here. Under the source code of type activity, I have a rule branch demo. Here I did some kind of development, but I did a small mistake, so it became a bug. What I did here is I used property set. Don't worry about this activity rule configuration. We will come to it little later in this series. For now, just assume that there is a spelling mistake. Like any kind of error or issue in your development, I just made a small spelling mistake into the py label. It should be my first node, but first is in wrong spelling. So I have to correct this. The tester identified it as a bug. Now my role is to fix this bug and then merge the changes into the implementation layer. Currently this rule is in the implementation layer because it is part of the rule set clients app. Now what I have to do is I can create a new branch, copy this source code or the rule into the branch, do the change, do a code review, and then I can merge the change back into the implementation layer. Let's see how we can do it. As a first step, start with creating branches. So how to create a branch is open the application. You can use the definition to open the application. And from here, you can add branches for any application. This is my clients app branch application. So this is the right place to add branches. I'll say bug fix here. Or if many developers are in the team, I can say bug fix frame. And then do a submit. Now this added a new branch. You should save this application so that this branch is added to the application. This is the first step. You created a new branch. The next step is you can either add new source code into this branch when you are doing some kind of future development, or if you are doing some bug fix, or if you want to update the existing source code, you can save as the rule into this branch. So what I will do is I will go to this activity and do a save as. In the next video, I'm going to explain about the rule and the rule buttons which you can use. For now, if you are not familiar, just follow with me. Just do a save as, and then placing the rule is a key criteria of the development. You should place the rule under the right layer. There are 3 layers, 1 on the application layer, 2 on the class layer, and 3 on the rule set layer. If you are doing some update into any rule into branches, you should make sure to use the same class layer and same rule set layer. This rule, if you see, it is on class layer @base class and rule set claims app. So I will be using the same class layer and same rule set layer. Go to the new create form and use the same class layer and the same rule set layer. Here I have only the development rule set because I have to use the right application layer also. You have to change the application layer to claims app. Then make sure your class layer is right and make sure your rule set layer is right. Everything is right, and I'm going to do the change in the development branch. So what you do here is you just make a copy of a rule into your branch. All the layers are same, only that you have the rule into the branch. Now do a create and open. This will save a copy of the source code into your branch. Now what you can do is you can fix this code. I'm going to do the change here. My first note, and do a save, and you can also do a check-in. Don't worry about these check-in checkout buttons. I will explain it in the next video. For now, just fill all the mandatory check-in commands or the guardrail fixes. So now that you see this rule has been updated and you see the rule set as claims app under the branch. It is not on the implementation layer but on the branch layer. Okay, now you completed your development work. What will be the next step? Someone has to review your code, right? Now let's check how we can review some branches. First, you can go to the branch explorer. So how to go to branch explorer is go to the app explorer, and from here you see classes and branches. So using app explorer, you can explore classes, you can explore branches. Go to branches and then expand the application under which you created the branch. I created it under claims app branch. So expand it. And here you find a branch. In real time, you may find multiple branches created by developers. Currently, I have only one branch, bug fix frame. Just click and open it. This will give you the content of the branch. As you see, the branch content, it holds only one rule of type activity. It is updated by me. Now from here, you can start creating a code review request. How to do a code review request is, you can use this create review button. Just click on this create review button. This opens up a pop-up. Here you can add the reviewers who can review your code. It can be an operator ID in Pega. So you can check the list of operators that are applicable for this application. Currently I am the only operator. That is why I see only my name here. In real time you may have a lot of operators here. You can choose the right team lead or the lead system architect who want to review your code. You can choose the name. And then you can also specify a due date, which is not mandatory. You can specify that within tomorrow you should get this review done. You can specify the due date and say bug fix for label. You can give some objective here and then you can create it. By this way, it creates a new code review request. Now, when the reviewer logs in, he can go to this review. He can click on it, check the content of the rule and make sure if everything is done, then he can go ahead and complete this review. He can also provide general commands for this code review. If there is some other improvement needs to be done, he can use the Pega Pulse to post some comments, and this can help with the collaboration between the reviewer and the developer. Let's say now there is no review comments, everything is perfect. So what I will do is I will just do a close review. So this will successfully close the review. Or you want to close the review? Yes, I want to close it. Now that this review is closed, if you go back to this branch, you can see that this has been successfully reviewed. You see a green tick mark here saying that review is completed. Now let's talk about the next tab, branch quality. Before you send your code to the reviewer, make sure you have the code under right quality. You can use this and check your weighted score, and you can also check your test coverage. You can check your unit testing, how much unit testing you have written, and also you can check about the guardrail warnings. I have done very poor coding here because I got a lot of warnings. Pega by default generate lot of warnings when you use activity rule. It is based on some performance issue. We will come to that little later. But for now, if you see, my code quality is not good. I have the guardrail score of only 33 out of 100. But still my reviewer approved. But this should not be the ideal case when you use in a real-time project. You should make sure that you fix your guardrail or you at least justify your guardrail. Okay, now you know that from a branch landing page, you can do two things. You can do code review. You can also check your branch quality. Once everything is done, now review is done. The next step is to merge your changes into the implementation layer. To do the merging, you can use the actions button. From here, you can start with merging. If you look at other options, you can also lock your branches so that no one can update your change. You can merge using the merge wizard. You can also package this as a zip file and then you can import it into different systems. You can also publish this into a repository instance. It means if you are connected to some kind of Azure repository or AWS repository, you can do that and publish it into the repository. You can also delete this branch from the system. We will do this once we complete our merge, and then you can also do a refresh. Now we will start with merging this change. Do you want to merge? Yes, I want to proceed with merging. So this opens up another wizard that helps with merging. At the backend now, Pega is going to validate a lot of things. It's going to check if there is some kind of merge conflict. As you see here, there is no conflict or warning found. And then it also asks you if you want to create a new version, if you want to increment the patch version. As you know that in Climbs app, we saw the rule set version is 010101. Now, if you want to roll out your changes, as a best practice, you should always roll out to a new higher version. You can either go with a patch version if it is a small changes. Using wizard, you cannot increment the minor or major version. If you really want to use the incremented minor or major version, what you have to do is you have to create the version from backend, and in the drop down, instead of using create new version, you can select the already created version. So I'm going to say 010102. So I'm going to create a new version here. So this wizard, it also creates a new version and merge your changes into the new version. You can also lock your rule set version after merge. About rule locking also, it's going to be in the next video. For now, I'm going to use the password as rules to lock the target rule set. And you know what is the source rule set? It's going to be my branch rule set, which is the source, and the target rule set is going to be the implementation. Pega by default, it deletes all the source rules after merge. It means you will not find the rule into the branch. You can also use this option if you really want to have a backup of your changes into your branch. Ideally, this you don't want because you are going to merge the same change into the implementation layer. You don't want to have an additional copy of the same thing into your branch. Since you completed your development, you don't need to have that rule in the branch. So I will not use this option, and then I will click merge. Now again the process kicks in. So what it's going to do is it's going to merge my rule into 010102 of Climbs app rule set. As you see, all rule sets successfully merged. Now let's close this wizard. Now let's go and check the rule set version. If the rule set version holds the merged rule, go to the application and Climbs app. That is the implementation application. Under this implementation application, you have the rule set Climbs app. Open that Climbs app rule set, and here you see it created a new version 010102 and it has only one rule. Let's click and open the rule. That is branch demo, which we updated in the branches. Open the rule. There you should find the right spelling here. As you see, we have successfully updated a rule and then did the change in the branches. Finally, we merged the change into the implementation layer. Now that we have successfully completed our development and merging, so what happened to the branches? Let's check that. Go to branch and do a refresh. I already did a refresh and I see the content is already removed because during merging we use the checkbox to remove the source rules after successful merge. That is why you find the rules as empty, but still the branch is not removed from the system. If you really want to remove the branch entirely from the system, then you can go to actions and from there you can use the option delete from system. It gives you another confirmation asking, are you sure you want to delete this branch? Yes, you can choose the option to delete the branch. You can also have an option to save this into a zip download. I will show you how this works. Just use this option and then click delete. So now this branch will be entirely deleted from the system. And you also see you can download the zip file. You can click this to download the zip file so that you can have it as a backup. Currently in this branch I didn't have any rule, so there is no use of having it as a zip file. But in real time, if you do some kind of research development and you want to have a backup of those code, then you can use this option when you delete that branch from the system. Now, if you also go to the branch application, you will not find the branch associated with the application. Note that Pega also do a backup of the deleted branch code. If you go to PRPC Personal Edition, which will be in your local directory, go to temp, static content, and then global service export. This will hold the deleted branch code as a zip file. So if you want to take a backup, you can also go to this server path location and take it from there. This service export directory usually hold the zip files that you also import it into the system. And don't forget, based on your infrastructure, this cannot be a persistent storage. It means these files can be deleted at a later point of time. So this is how you can use branch-based development in Pega. This is a very simple development which I showed you. In real time, you may have a lot of rules and code review will be done on all the rules before you merge your changes. I hope I made it clear on this part. See you in the next video.